Hey guys, I am Nimit Brahmbhatt and you are listening to my Not So Profound Thoughts. Today I will be talking about 10 simple principles which I follow while investing and I take care on a daily to daily basis. So, the first principle which I follow is that I always invest for long term. Basically, I am an equity investor, so I don't invest that much in bonds or sovereign gold bonds or any treasury bills or any other things or debt instruments we can say. I usually invest in equity because it gives me better returns. So I invest it for long term. Long term, what I mean to say is not just 3 to 4 years or 5 years. Maybe I plan definitely for 10 years. So nothing less than that. So first thing you need to do is to plan for long term. While it may be difficult when you see daily price fluctuations and some friends or other uh, colleague may say that this script is good, this script is that, and you don't know why you are investing. So it can create a problem. You need to identify your goals, whether you want it for future retire earnings or the goal is something else. You need to identify and prepare your investment like that only. So you need to also watch your cost, be diversified in your investments, and keep one thing in clear, that it should be long term always, because no matter what, a company cannot give you a better return in 1 year or 2 year, but definitely it will give you returns in 10 years. And this works in a daily life also, that what you achieve in 1 year versus what you achieve in 10 years will be whole lot different, will be whole different level of compounding. The second is behavior is everything. You need to understand your behavior and try not to make impulse purchase decisions or impulse selling decisions. Suppose if I invested in Tata Motors, I should be able to understand why I invested in Tata Motors. Suppose the price goes down immediately because of some news, or it may be correct, it may be incorrect, it may be half correct and half incorrect. We don't know, because we are doing our job, our businesses, and we are not full time. Even if we are involved full time in investing itself, it becomes difficult to grasp so much of information that is flowing to us each and every day. So why there are price fluctuations on daily basis. So if you look at the price fluctuations daily, it will cause you to make impulse decision, because you might see a 5% down and then suddenly you might be like, I must sell this or I must buy this, because the price is 5% down or the price is 5% up. It may be anything. So you don't have to do that, because the money control or investing.com and other apps that makes it easy to watch things on a daily basis, our smartphones itself make us watch things on a daily basis, give so much information that we confuse and make impulse decisions. And that is going to happen if you look at prices on daily basis. The second is you need to have the third is you need to have a diversified portfolio. You might be doing jobs, you might be doing businesses. Just don't keep everything on equity, just don't keep everything in bonds, just don't keep everything in gold. It should be diversified. You must have some mutual fund also, you must have some bonds also, you must have some equity also, something in index fund, something in gold. This is what is the Indian mentality that is going on, and I am happy to say that we also must carry forward that. Our parents or our elders, we can say, they invest some portion of the portfolio in gold, they invest some in bonds, they invest some for the crisis period, they keep liquidity for the crisis period, they invest some in equity. So overall, it balances the inflation, it balances the cost increase that is going on, it balances the life, or we can say the standard of living, and the returns you will be getting over a period of time will also be increased because of the diversified portfolio. The You must have the fourth point or the principle, which I must say, that you must have the risk and reward understanding, that you can't expect to beat the market. What an investor does is to make sure that the losses are not more, they are less. So the investor's job is primarily to make investing decisions that gives profit. But the second thing is, he also makes sure that while some portfolio gets losses, so the losses are recovered, or else the losses are averaged. So when the prices go down, or you might incur losses, you also need to understand the risk that you are taking into that script. Let's say, for example, the Zomato IPO is the latest hot thing that is going on right now. So if you invest in Zomato, you know that the company is already making losses. The company has filed for its IPO, and the PE is almost negative, even though people are willing to take risk because of the growth company or the growth potential that it has. So you need to understand that if the prices might fall down suddenly, you are ready to bear that loss, or you already know that risk that is going to be there. The another point or principle is spend less than you earn. So that is basic. I am not going to exaggerate anything more or explain anything more. What happens when you buy a credit card or something on EMI, you are actually spending more than you are earning. Let's say if you are earning 30 to 40,000 per month, and you buy a fridge worth 1 lakh on EMI, so you don't have the capacity to buy a fridge on its MRP, but you are giving EMIs, as well as you bundle multiple EMIs by buying multiple products, and thus the whole business of EMI gets profitable, and you are purchasing more than you are earning. If it is necessary, then it is a totally different thing. But if you don't have the necessity to buy that thing, just don't buy that thing. You should be able to understand how you invest. This is the basic principle, that you need to understand that how you can invest, which sector specific you are. You might be understanding automobiles move better than anyone else, pharmaceuticals, aeronauticals, defense, packaging, the reliance that is, and chemicals. You need to understand what your strengths are while investing, which sectors do you understand more, and try to keep your investments in that, because you will be understanding how the company will be functioning. And even in that, you need to identify your goal and stick to that. Another thing is, never use, for a retail investor specifically, I don't care those who are involved in on a daily basis. For a retail investor, leveraging kills. Never use borrowed or loaned money for investing purpose, because at given point of time you do not know how the company is going to earn, or how the company is going to perform in future. It might perform good, you might earn rewards, but you are still going to pay interest. It might earn bad, you may have losses, but you will still need to pay interest, and that will kill you. So never use leveraged money or loan or borrowed money for wealth creation purposes. You need to understand the another principle that you need to understand is of your limitations. Everyone needs to even I have my limitations. I have certain theory developed of my own, but it needs to be adapted or modified over a period of time, because over the 5-10 years that theory might not be that successful or might not hold valid itself, and I must be willing to change according to the time and make my theory acceptable. It is not like many people believe that only 10 to 20 investing in 10 to 20 stocks or 5 to 10 stocks gives better results. Well, I must say that if you have heard ever of Peter Lynch, he was a fund manager. He used to hold at a given point of time 1,000 stocks and still was able to beat markets or had never negative returns once in his lifetime while he was a fund manager. Another principle that is you need to be responsible for whatever financial decisions you take. You do not make excuses by giving it upon the situations. If you borrowed money for wealth creation, it is your fault or it is your responsibility to pay back. It is never the company's performance or company's responsibility in which you invested that they need to give or need to perform according to your goals, because they have certain goals of their own. You need to be responsible for how you look at your financial situation. No government, no company, no one else, not even your father, mother, or any of your close relatives or friends are responsible for what financial decisions you take. Another principle is you need to be prepared for a crisis situation. We saw that COVID-19 eroded many jobs, created many vacancies itself. But still there is what I can say, there is a gap between the employment which is required or the skilled labor and the availability of the skilled labor. So there is a huge gap between what is demanded and what is being supplied. So you need to prepare for crisis period. You might lose your job, you might lose your business. Many businesses were also eroded. So what you can rely is on the savings which you have separated or liquidity which you have maintained over a period of time and have kept aside for the crisis period itself and not using it for some other purposes. And the last principle which I follow is invest in yourself. Like creating this video, I used to be afraid of creating videos. Right now I am actually preparing for my CFA final, not CFA final but CFA level 1 exam. It was supposed to be happened on May, but it is now, because of COVID, it is now happening on November. I am regularly updating myself, reading books, while most of you don't like reading. That is why I am creating video and you will listen to it. So invest in yourself, learn as much as possible, and that's it. These are the principles which I follow on daily basis to you can say that it is my guide to wealth creation which I follow. That's all for today. Thank you.